Tomorrow's high will reach 16. Tomorrow night, anticipate more snow accumulating 3 to 6 inches with a low of 12. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
From local sports to national newsmakers, this is the show everybody is talking about. Live from the Granite State, it's Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Shop and the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Denane alongside Charlie Hossack. We are Mike and the Hoss. Charlie, I think Joe Lundberg doing the forecast, I think he undersold. Relative to what's going on TV with the Snowmageddon and all this stuff.
Snowmageddon, they're saying 18 plus inches. Oh my gosh. And he said 3 to 6.
He said 3 to 6.
Whatever.
And I mean, if you turn on the Weather Channel, society as we know it is ending.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I've had family members, Michelle's had family members post on social media. People are concerned, like they have reached out to us, making sure that we're going to be safe, we're going to be okay. I'm like,
oh, you mean people that live south?
People live in, not in this area.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how hyped up it's become. My mother, who lives out in Florida, said, basically, Florida is forecast New England that this is the end of the world.
Yeah,
this is it. And I reminded my mother, she lived through the blizzard of '78. We're gonna be able to get through this.
I'm here for it. Me. I get into the doomsday prepping.
Yes, you do. You do.
And I started the generator up this morning. I made sure I had enough gas to get me till July. And
it's great because I always say, I'm like, should I do this? And then I said, there's no reason to. I said to Michelle, there's no reason to do this because we can just go to the Denae's house.
Yeah.
I can just come there. Yeah. There's plenty of them.
We are prepared. I don't have the food though. So I don't bring the food. Okay.
We got, Michelle's actually, it's kind of funny. Michelle's cooking today, kind of prepping like the soups and the stews.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And we'll be ready.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So, and Dog had to walk to work today. So that must have been an adventure.
Little nippy out there, and tomorrow got to be here as well, and it's going to be nippy and cold, and then we got snow on the way. So I'm doing great.
Gosh, Dog, I wanted to first of all say congratulations to you. Today marks your 25th year in radio, which is absolutely impressive. Congratulations. That's you got at least 25 more years in you, I hope.
One day at a time. Thank you. 2001 started off, 17 years young, a punk kid from 44 Downing Street, walking into a radio building, and I haven't walked out ever since.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations, Dog.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro, and can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Shop houses over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar. And, of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss, receive 20% off the Gingy Box. Now you can join our conversation, 603-228-2080. That is 603-228-2080. You also can, we want to thank the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London because you can watch our show live on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and that is brought to you again by the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London. And we are on social media, Charlie.
We are. We're on TikTok. We're on X. Of course, we're on Facebook. We're on YouTube, Instagram. So check us out. Give us a like. Write a comment or two. We love to interact with the listeners and follow us on social media. Mike, I'm looking out the window right now, and there's wind. The wind has already kind of started here, and it's kind of just blowing the snow all around. They did say, it's interesting, they did say it down on the seacoast. I don't know the exact criteria for a blizzard, but it has to obviously have some wind and all that stuff, that there could potentially be some blizzard conditions down on the seacoast.
I'm ready.
Me too.
I'm prepped.
Me too. I'm ready.
I can't knock on the table, Dog.
Don't knock on the table.
I was going to knock on wood, but that would bother him, so I don't want to do that. All right, Opening Takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike and the Hoss penalty box during happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m.
All right. We can get both ours in today because I want to save a long one for our New Hampshire sports segment. I was in class this week, and we're talking about the Patriots because, that the kids are into it, obviously. And their comment somebody made was, well, because they haven't won for a long time. And it was like, Oh my God.
in their lifetime, though, right?
They haven't won since you were in second grade. It is we're not talking about college students. We're talking about
Yeah,
eighth graders.
Right.
How fortunate New England sports fans are to have the Patriots back after basically what really was a 2-year hiatus of relevancy.
Right.
Even in the Cam Newton year, they were knocking on the door. It was COVID, but they were knocking on the door for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, Mac Jones, they went to the playoffs.
Right.
And then they had 2 years of that they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then they come back and they're in the AFC Championship game for like the 16th time or whatever the number is.
Yeah.
And in that time period, though, the Celtics won a title. In that time period, the Red Sox have been hot and cold, but they've certainly been in it.
Bruins
The
really
Bruins
hot.
were in the finals in that time period. It drives me crazy. People don't know. If you're a Cleveland fan, even if you're a New York fan,
Yeah.
you go, New York's the biggest city in the United States, and you still don't have winning teams that come out of New York
I mean, think
in
about
any
if you're-
sport.
Right. If you're a Jets fan, anything, right? A Nets fan.
Even
You
the
pick-
Yankees
Yeah,
haven't won since
even a
09.
Mets fan, right?
So we are so spoiled, and people don't realize what normal fan bases feel.
Yeah.
The pain that normal fan bases feel.
Yeah.
What we went through with the Red Sox, 70, what is it, 90, no, what was it, 90,
The drought, 1918, right?
1918
Yeah.
to 2004. Yeah. So that drought happens in every other city
Right.
for across all sports,
Except for ours.
except for ours.
Yeah.
And we don't appreciate it enough. If we don't have a parade every couple of years,
Yeah.
people think that, we're firing owners and general managers and want things switched.
I mean, people have said to me, it's funny they say this. They're like, you guys are so selfish in New England. I'm like, selfish? Like, all you want, you complain about not having, championships, a couple years go by and you guys like, oh, woe is me. I'm like, yeah. I mean, there's an expectation here that our team, one of our teams, honestly, one of our teams should win every year, or at least be in the finals for whatever it is. That's the expectation.
Do the math. It's if you compare New England sports teams to every other region, basically combined.
Yeah.
It's New England sports teams still have the edge.
Absolutely.
It's incredible the amount of success that has come out, and we're just fortunate. It's not, Mike and the Haas didn't do it.
No.
It wasn't a matter of strategy. It wasn't a matter of good ownership. It wasn't.
Right.
It's a lot of luck.
Sure.
Luck is part of it.
Yeah.
We've seen what the Patriot season has gone through. And God, if you hear the national broadcast, sorry, dog. If you hear the national broadcast, the amount of time is being spent on their schedule.
Right.
The fact that when they played Houston, Nico Collins was out.
Yeah.
It's one thing after another. And they're right. We said at the beginning of the year, why are the Patriots going to be successful? The schedule. We saw it.
Agreed.
Now, you get to the AFC Championship game in Denver, and after Denver beats Buffalo, and none of us thought that Denver were going to beat Buffalo.
Right.
None of us thought that New England would beat Buffalo. The Denver quarterback goes down with a broken ankle, and he can't play.
Right.
And then good old friend Jared Stidham's going to be coming to play.
Right. Yeah.
It's just one thing after another. It is a fortunate fan base. We should be thankful for it,
Mhm.
not arguing the fortune that we have.
Agreed. I agree with that. And and it'll be interesting to see tomorrow. Like what are the pundits going to say? Is it because of the schedule that we're in the AFC Championship game? It's crazy. The fact that the Patriots actually have an opportunity now to go to the Super Bowl. I can't even believe we're having this conversation that there is a real it's not like pie in the sky type thing. This is a real chance. I think there's more than a 50% chance you could even say, if you could even say that.
Oh yeah.
That the Patriots could actually be going to the Super Bowl.
Vegas they had us by
They
5.5. They're
It's
down
3.5.
4.5. Oh, it's
Yeah,
3.5 now?
No, it's
Oh,
3.5.
it's moving.
It's
Wow.
moving. But it's crazy. When you look at, and I know we're going to break this down. When you look at Jarrett Stidham, he's not a bad quarterback. Heck, he was drafted by the Patriots as heir apparent to Tom Brady at the time.
Drafted by the Patriots, followed Josh McDaniels to Vegas.
To Vegas.
So-
And then he picked, and in Vegas, don't forget this, he picked apart, even though they lost, he picked apart the San Francisco defense, which was number one at the time.
Yep.
And the kid can play ball. This
He
is
can.
not a really terrible backup.
We're obviously going to spend a lot of time on the Patriots, but this take was about enjoy it. Enjoy it because
enjoy the ride.
this is special. Again, to be back like this is special.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
Exactly.
Let's do yours before we go to break.
Yeah, sure. So I don't know if you guys have seen this dog. I don't know if you have seen this, but this is Eastern Kentucky middle school boys basketball. And this is another example of parents out of control parents. And what we had here was what happened on the court, and it was like a playoff game, middle school. And when we say middle school, guys, Mike and I work in the middle school. We happen to work 7th and 8th. This happened to be 5, 6, 5th and 6th and 7th graders. So really younger kids. It wasn't older kids. There was a player fight. 2 players went at each other, and it was a pretty bad fight. It was blood involved and all that stuff. But during the fight, parents came onto the court, and then the entire stands. You can watch this on social media. You had parents coming out there, some to grab their kids, some to fight each other, and the announcers were unbelievably amazing. So they have their Kentucky drawls going on, and they're talking, and they're kind of doing the play-by-play of the parent-player fight. Police started to get involved, the school resource officer, and the comment that is going to go down on social media, you're going to hear it everywhere, is the way that the announcer announced the fact that one of the guys was tased, and he just said, they just tased Ryan. You see Ryan falls, and they said that, and you just kind of get the point that Ryan apparently has probably been tased before in situations because it was just so nonchalant. But that being said, the humor in that is there. But the part, of course, that we get at is that parents are absolutely out of control. There's no reason there should be any fights between parents on, of course, players over middle school basketball, because it's supposed to be fun. It doesn't matter. It's just a fun game.
We've spent an exhaustive amount of time on this because there's something that comes out, appears weekly.
Yeah.
There is, when you announce at games, you make a comment about, let the referees ref, parent,
Sure.
There's a no tolerance policy in virtually every arena that there is.
Right.
But it's getting worse.
It is.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
And I don't.
And you know what?
I don't know where it's going to go. It keeps getting worse.
I'm going to make a comment because I hear, when I do hockey games, I can hear both benches. I can hear all the coaching. I can hear everything. And there are teams that come in, some visiting teams that come in, and where the kids get it, because the coaches are the ones. The coaches are the ones that are hard on the refs. The coaches are the ones that are swearing at the refs. The coaches are the ones. And as a coach, as as a teacher, whatever the coach and teacher do, the kids are going to do. The players are going to do. So you hear that, and then you also hear the parents. We have parents that are near the player benches, and the parents, once the coaches do it, they start chirping. So it's an issue. It's a parent issue. It's a coach issue. I'm not going to blame the players, especially with high school students or middle school students, because they're just modeling the behavior from those that are teaching them or coaching them.
Our kids they've grown up now, as far as, at least in terms of competitive sports.
Yes.
So we're not going to those games anymore. Right. I'm still on the bench, definitely on my back nine as far as that goes.
Sure.
I have regrets in terms of how I've behaved over the years at times.
Me too.
With the referees or mainly with the refs. But I wish I had some do-overs.
Yeah, or umpires.
I had never been tased. Let me just make it clear. I have never been tased.
We talked about it on the show, and you were there. I was thrown out of a baseball game as a fan.
Yeah.
I will go on record, a comment that I didn't make, the guy next to me made, but I took responsibility for it. But it doesn't matter. I would have said the same comment. So I regret that, because it's embarrassing. There's no reason why, especially now that we're umpires. Now that we do it, I get it. Was it a bad call? Yeah. Do we all make bad calls every now and then? Of course, we're human. But I regret that, and I regret some of the comments that I've made as a coach. Going up and interacting with umpires or football referees. I said some things that I wish I could take back now.
If we wanted Major League Baseball level officiating, we would be going to Major League Baseball games.
Yes.
There's a reason why youth hockey officials or youth, or high school hockey are not
middle school
in
umpires.
the NHL, are not in the NHL. It's but you expect to have that level of officiating.
Right. Yeah. And you're not going to, and a lot of times you're not going to get it, especially youth hockey. You're not going to get it from the 16-year-old kid. That, that is refereeing these games to get volunteering.
We're gonna go to break because we're a little over. But there was at a baseball tournament, a 21-year-old. He was a 21-year-old and he was an umpire.
Yeah.
The fans sent him to the hospital. ended up in the hospital.
Unbelievable.
So,
And he's never going to want to umpire again.
and you wonder why there's a shortage of officials.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back.
Your home for news, talk, and information. This is 107.7 WTPL, the pulse of New Hampshire.
Well, you can get it done cheaper, but you won't get it better when it comes to comfort. We were real go-getter with your local plumbing and heating. The good guys are coming.
Mo Plumbing and Heating Corp would like to remind you that when severe cold threatens the area, be prepared. To avoid frozen pipes, make sure dampers on the baseboard are open and keep the baseboard clear to aid in heat circulation in your home. For those with warm air systems, be sure the filters are cleaned or replaced, as clogged filters diminish heat flow and reduce efficiency. If you do find yourself with a plumbing or heating problem, call the professionals at Mo Plumbing and Heating Corp. Owned and operated by the Ives family since 1960. Master license 478C.
You know, nobody does it like Bo. Plumbing and heating, nobody does it like Bo.
Scott Lawson of the Lawson Group on standard operating procedures.
You should have standard operating procedures for any task, job, piece of equipment, machinery that you work on. And part of that standard operating procedure should be the safety requirements. And the safety requirements don't mean personal protective equipment and guards. It should be the training and education and tools that are required to make the product safely. And I always try to draw the conclusion for companies when we talk about this stuff to say, you don't do it for the name of safety. You do it for safety, productivity, and quality. Because all the behaviors that it takes to produce a lot of stuff with high quality are the same behaviors it takes to do it safely. Most companies just don't work that way.
So while I have you, do you have any quick kind of advice?
Think it through. You do it right the first time. You don't create a lot of scrap. You don't create a lot of waste. You're very efficient with what you do.
For workplace safety information on everything from indoor air quality and hazardous materials management to noise exposure, wellness consulting, and workman's comp, it's the Lawson Group. Go to thelawsongroup.com.
Hey, this is Mike Dene alongside Charlie Hossack from Mike and the Hoss.
You know what I love about getting away to the coast? That fresh, clean feeling.
What if you could get that feeling anywhere? That's what drinking Maine Love water is like.
It's true. It's sourced from pristine Maine water, and you can taste the difference. It's so crisp and refreshing, and it comes in recyclable aluminum cans, not plastic.
Whether you choose their pure water or their feel-good flavored seltzers, you're getting simple, sustainable, feel-good hydration.
You know,
That's Maine Love.
we're pretty much the number one.
With you.
Hi, I'm Colonel Mark Hall of the New Hampshire State Police. Tune in every Thursday morning at 9:20 for your New Hampshire State Police segment on Good Morning New Hampshire with Jack on the Pulse of New Hampshire to learn about what we do for public safety in New Hampshire.
Jason LaCroix here from AutoFair. Our team is proud to sponsor your New Hampshire State Police segment on Good Morning New Hampshire. We believe it is important for the community to know more about the men and women who work on the front lines of public safety. Tune in each Thursday morning at 9:20 for your New Hampshire State Police segment brought to you by the team at AutoFair.
Coming up at noon, we talk tech with Jim Commando. In the meantime, we're back to Mike and the Hoss on the pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays. Sports talking kings of Wolfeboro Town. Husbands, fathers, where heroes are found.
Tonight, if you want to catch the Celtics,
Yeah.
They're going to be on the Pulse of New Hampshire. They came off a win last night.
Yeah, well, yeah, double overtime against the lowly 12-win Brooklyn Nets.
A win's a win.
A win is a win. And Derek White didn't play. It was a rest day for Derek White.
Anyway, they're going to be in Chicago tonight, 7:30 pregame, 8:05 tip-off on the Pulse of New Hampshire. So the Celtics versus the Bulls tonight.
Awesome. And then, and let's not complain about them. I mean, they're still the 2 seed in the East. They're performing, I think, definitely above our expectations. And, they're setting themselves up for, I would say, a deep playoff run.
Yeah, and if Tatum comes back, which is expected, that was not me, which is expected, then they probably are going to be the favorites in the East.
Yeah.
So I mean, props to the Celtics, even though I'm down on them most of the time. Props to the Celtics. New Hampshire sports.
Yes, New Hampshire sports is brought to you by Bailey's Bubble. Family-owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you.
This is, I mean, New Hampshire has colleges, and this thing has not necessarily made it to New Hampshire yet.
Right.
But did you watch the national championship game?
Yes. Of
You know,
course.
in
Oh,
Indiana,
love
Indiana
it.
beat
Yes.
Miami. They weren't two colleges playing each other.
No.
They really weren't. That was, as you might as well have been watching the Colts play the Dolphins, because you had guys that weren't going to school.
Yeah.
You had guys that were getting contracts of $4 million, $3 million, $2 million,
Yeah.
living in penthouses in South Beach, driving Ferraris.
Yeah.
This was not your college of yesteryear,
Right.
where
Yeah.
you know, if you were lucky if you got a bike and
Right.
you took your bike and you had to work.
Here's
You were
your
doing
bicycle and a pizza.
and you were doing homework in the locker room before the game because the
Yeah.
professor wasn't, dismissing
Giving
you
you-
on the assignment.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And it really came to light during the interviews.
It's true. I remember those games back in the day when you'd interview the star quarterback and they'd say, "What are you doing tonight?" It's like, "I got to go home and finish writing my history paper."
Yes.
For real. Like those
Yes.
were real comments.
Or people on campus actually knew the players.
Yeah.
Because
right.
they had
'Cause
classes
they sat in
with them.
class with them. Yeah, like I would sit next to the U.
Yes.
It's like that'd be cool.
And so those days are gone, and it came to light when they were doing interviews. And we certainly talked about this, but Carson Beck graduated 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He graduated college 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He is the same age as Drake May, who is in his second year in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's just one example. He signed for $4 million to play at play at Miami.
Miami. Yeah.
And how is that different than the guy that signs with the Dolphins? The guy that signs with the Dolphins probably didn't sign for $4 million. He
Because
probably
he's
signed a little
making-
bit less than
he's
that.
making less money.
He also didn't go to classes.
No.
And he just didn't get to play in the national championship game.
Championship
It's
game,
a joke. It's broken. And we spent we spent a lot of time on this. We spent a lot of time on the fact that a West Coast school, Stanford,
Yeah.
plays in the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Right. Yeah. They blew up, and as you know, I'm a Stanford fan, and they blew up my beloved Pac-10, which was then the Pac-12. They blew that all up, and I'm like, what?
Fine. They want to blow that up. Fine. Stanford should not be traveling to North Carolina for a rivalry
They're in the
game.
Atlantic Coast Conference, and they live on the West Coast.
For a rivalry game.
Right. I know.
I just got across my Twitter feed. There's
Yeah.
a guy that's coming back to Miami for his 8th college season.
Oh my God.
His 8th.
Wow.
This is getting stupid. There was a guy, and Doug and I talked about this earlier this week, and I forget his name. There was a basketball player that played for Alabama in 2023, went into the NBA draft,
Yeah.
played in the G League the past couple of years, is suing the NCAA because he wants to be reinstated into Alabama today.
But
He
he already turned pro.
It doesn't matter.
No. And I'm just saying, like you would that was the line in the sand. Once you turn pro, you can't become an amateur.
The line in the sand used to be if you signed with an agent.
Oh, right.
If
right,
you
right,
signed with
yes.
an agent,
That's
that was the
it.
line in the
Yeah.
sand. You were done. You couldn't.
Yeah. But can you imagine? He played in the G League. He played against guys that play in the NBA.
He's going to win because there's no rules for
Right,
college
there's no
sports.
precedent. There's no precedent.
There's no
Exactly.
rules.
Yeah.
And my take, and I was going to play around with the opening take, and I had this long rant, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
bore everybody by reading it. But college of sports is so broken. It is so broken that, yes, the Indiana-Miami game was great, and it was great. But the University of Miami did not win a college championship.
Yeah.
The state of Indiana maybe did, or the boosters of Indiana did.
Yeah.
But the actual student athletes
In Indiana.
of Indiana did not win this game.
Right.
The student athletes of Miami
Yeah.
did not lose this game.
Right.
These are not your college athletes. These are not student athletes, is probably a better way to put it.
Right.
They're not student athletes. They might be college athletes, but they're not student athletes. It's broken. It's sad. We haven't seen it get to New Hampshire really
No.
at this point. But what's stopping UNH now
Right.
from signing, all these blue chip guys because they have the NIL money to do
could.
so?
I mean, and you can look at that from the football perspective. What about the hockey perspective? I mean, UNH hockey's good, right? I mean, they're a good program. Like, I mean, are we going to see guys that have played professionally decide, hey, we're going to sue and we'd like to come back. I know that I'm 27 years old, but I'd like to come back and play for UNH or
27, 33,
whatever.
32. They're going to be going to the pros, make a little bit of money, and then make more money coming back to college.
Yeah.
It's insanity. And the Alabama example that I gave you, I mean, the G League doesn't pay big money.
Right.
And so he probably looked at it, or his agent probably looked at it and says, hey, if you come back to Alabama for their stretch run, we'll get you a couple $1 million with NIL money that we have available. Yeah. And that seems absurd, but it's not. That's really what's happening.
Right. Because if to stay in the G League, you'd have to play multiple years to even come close to that kind of money.
8 years of college sports. 8.
That's unbelievable.
Carson Beck graduated 2 years ago from Georgia, a 4-year school where he played football. Oh, dog.
Yeah. Only people that go to college for 8 years are doctors. Well, guess what? Carson Beck is disproving that theory.
It is. It's
a good point. But how funny is that? He has a degree from Georgia, so he's a Bulldog, but he's representing the Hurricanes
and never been to class.
Yeah,
he
doesn't need to go to class because he doesn't
graduate.
So
it's kind of a joke. So if you go, let's say the 8 years is extreme. Let's say 6 years, which is absurd in itself. That's extreme. And you're doing between $2 and $4 million a year with NIL. That's more than an NFL rookie contract.
Yeah.
It
used to be. It used to be 5 years, right? You could redshirt a year and you'd do 4 years, and that would kind of make sense. Or or maybe you did your 5th year, you were a graduate student.
And if it was a senior who was a redshirt freshman, they had no chance of making it to the NFL. They were, because they're 24, they were headed to whatever career or hopefully a degree that they got.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody's going to do stats now. It's going to be coming out that somebody's going to break down this data about the current state of Division I athletics and how many guys are actually going to classes. What is the average salaries, which sounds stupid in itself. What is the percentage of people graduating?
Right.
And they're going to come out, and it's going to be single-digit numbers.
Yeah.
And it's just so broken. The NCAA is so broken. And that's what happens when you lose a lawsuit like this. The NCAA has not necessarily been known as a very honorable organization,
right?
But they were right on this, that they were right to try to fight this. They saw that this was going to destroy the sport as it is, and it's going to, because people like me are going to tune in next year to the national championship game, and I'm going to be like, am I really watching student athletes?
Yeah. Well, how is this question for both of you guys? How is this going to impact the fan base? And then, we had Andrew on the show a couple weeks ago. How is it's interesting, like as a fan, like if you're a college football fan, we'll use football as an example. If you're a University of Miami college football fan, do you stay a football fan? You graduated from the U, all that stuff. Like what? I don't know. It's just like, it just doesn't make sense to me that you would want to continue to be a fan, because you're not really a fan, because they're not really students at Miami. They didn't go through what you went through to get your degree.
Right. Some of them have never gone to class. I remember Johnny Manziel, and I thought that this was horrible. And this was 6 years ago, when he was at Texas Tech. Johnny Manziel, Texas Tech?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. That he never went to classes. He only did online classes.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, oh, that's kind of rotten.
It's weird, yeah.
And he said, well, I'm too much of a celebrity on campus, and so I can't get to classes.
Too much of a celebrity.
Oh yeah, he was a little loose in the head. But at the time, I was like, maybe he shouldn't be eligible because he's not going to classes. He's not experiencing college like you expect all of these guys to experience college.
Yeah.
I grew up in Hanover at Dartmouth College campus. My parents had a house on Dartmouth College campus.
Yeah.
And a fraternity was right in our backyard. Sure. And there was football players that lived in the fraternity.
Yeah.
And they went to classes.
Yeah.
And they coached our little league team. And because they needed jobs and they needed work, they played played football. They played football.
Yeah.
And it's just so far from that now. Now, as I mentioned, there's penthouses on South Beach. There's vacation homes for some of these guys.
Right.
It's just stupid.
It's out of
and to
control.
your point, Charlie, somebody like me is souring now on college athletics.
Yeah.
I'm suspect of now that it's not college athletics. It's not. It's another semi-pro league, which we've talked about before. This is just another semi-pro league where you make more than other semi-pro leagues.
Right. Agreed.
Sad.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're going to look now, the only pure college football is you're going to have to dip down to the Division 2s or the Division 3s, where
Yeah.
you know those guys are still going to class, still playing football.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it. They're not going to make it in the NFL, most likely, the majority of them. But it's just kind of traditional football. Even UNH seems to be they're still kind of traditional football. Those guys, the hockey players, football players, go to class. You know, our kids, you know, go to UNH or have gone to UNH, and you'll see. I mean, they'll see like, oh yeah, so and so who plays on, you know, they're in my finance class.
That's a good point. You wonder if this is going to now raise the platform of those Division 3 schools and the Division 2 schools. I might be more apt to watch a Division 3 championship now because I appreciate that
true
they're
student athletes.
Student athletes.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back. More Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
News, information, and discussion. This is 107.7 WTPL.
Hi, Jack Keith here, inviting you to join me on October 25th for a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette Travel. From the historic cities of London and Edinburgh Castle to the English charm of Chester, medieval York and York Minster, the lovely Stratford-upon-Avon, and of course, London. Along the way, we'll board a train and travel through the rolling hills and even enjoy a traditional English afternoon tea. Colette handles every detail, your flights, your meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. So don't miss out. Join me by calling Colette at 800-581-8942. or visit thepulseofnh.com to learn more. And Colette's number again, 800-581-8942.
Remember cell phones that were only phones? With technology constantly offering us more and more ways to make our daily lives more efficient, shouldn't there be a way to make our heat and hot water systems more efficient too? Current 21st century technology can provide you with endless hot water while cutting high fuel bills associated with old-fashioned boilers. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating is an Energy Kinetics premier dealer. They offer a full line of propane, gas, and oiler burner systems to accommodate your heating and hot water needs for any application. Energy Kinetics boilers are made in America and feature whisper quiet system operation that will increase your comfort and reduce your fuel bills. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating have the breakthrough Ascent combination heat hot water boiler. The Ascent is Energy Kinetics' newest product that is specifically designed to replace outdated, inefficient tankless coil boiler technology with modern, clean, efficient technology and increased hot water capacity. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating Oil's commitment to excellence has set them apart for over 80 years. Contact them today to find out which Energy Kinetics product can help lower your fuel bill. Call 746-3456 or visit them online at hrclough.com.
Hey, this is Mike Dene alongside Charlie Hossick from Mike and the Hoss.
You know that feeling when you take a sip of water and it's just perfect?
That's the Maine love feeling. We're talking about water sourced from the pristine Sebago Lake in Maine. It's hydration that just hits different.
And it comes in these sleek, recyclable aluminum cans, not plastic. Whether you want crisp, still water, or bubbly flavored seltzer, you're getting that clean Maine taste.
Forget the plastic. Feel the good vibes. Reach for Maine love.
Bring that clean Maine feeling home with you.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Meet Sean Toll, a Concord-based financial advisor.
Hi, I'm Sean Toll. Whether you're planning for retirement, saving for your child's education, or looking to grow your wealth, I'm here to help you achieve these goals.
With personalized strategies and expert advice, Sean Toll will guide you every step of the way.
Let's create a financial plan that works for you. Call me today at 603-715-2335. That's 715-2335, or visit daviswealthmgmt.com.
Sean Toll, your partner in financial success.
Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, LLC, BCM, a registered investment advisor.
Get in touch with the show anytime at thepulseofnh.com and on the free to download Pulse of NH app. Now, back to Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss on the radio waves. Features by day, coaches making plays.
And we're giving away some coffee today, some warm coffee.
Yeah, nice hot coffee. But you know what? We are New Englanders, so iced coffee is just fine too.
That's true. I'm not a coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker.
I'm a huge coffee.
Coffee, hot cocoa, either one.
Yeah,
it's a good day for it.
And this is perfect because the best coffee in the state and the best hot chocolate in the state are Lucas Roasting Company. Lucas Roasting Company on King Street in beautiful Back Bay, Wolfboro serves up delicious coffee, tea, espresso lattes, hot chocolate, Mike, freshly roasted right in the cafe. Voted New Hampshire's best coffee 5 years running. They offer over 40 single origin coffees and blends, perfect for personal or large business orders. Visit Wednesday through Saturday, 7 to 3, or order anytime at lucasroasting.com and have great coffee shipped right to your door. You're going to get a chance to win a gift card from Lucas Roasting Company, 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080. Trivia question. Which NFL quarterback holds the record for completion percentage in a single game while throwing for at least 250 yards and 5 touchdowns? Which NFL quarterback holds the record for completion percentage in a single game while throwing for at least 250 yards and 5 touchdowns? If you know the answer, 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080 for a chance to win a gift card to Lucas Roasting Company.
All right. Before we get to the Patriots and the game tomorrow, let's check some boxes off. The Bruins,
yes,
are currently back into the playoff mix.
They are.
They're on a decent run. A little trip up in Dallas, but came back against Vegas. They're playing again tonight. It's just up and down this year for them.
Yeah.
They're scoring more than I think anybody expected them, but I think they're also letting up more goals than anybody expected them
They
to.
are. I mean, Swimmer's letting up some goals.
So,
they're hosting the Canadians tonight. They have 60 points, and you had put in my head, and I'm not going to remember the number, but you had said, to reach X amount of points is going to get you kind of qualify for the playoffs. And like you said, right now they're the number 2 wild card team. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we kind of, when we were talking Bruins at the beginning of the year, there was like no chance we were even going to talk about playoffs.
Yeah. Historically, you got to be in that 95 to 100 range to really get there.
So they're trending that way. But the other thing is, if you look at the rest of the NHL, it's not like anybody's really running away with it.
This is a little bit of a different year, that there is a log jam. And I mean, we came in and they were in second place, and then next week we did the show, they were in 14th.
Right.
Because they lost a couple games. So
there's a lot of
which means that every game counts. And so I think you're seeing the intensity. You're almost seeing a little bit of a playoff vibe when you catch a game right now, because every game counts. That's going to be a playoff vibe tonight with the Canadians. Canadians are good. The Canadians are up there. They're probably top 3, I believe. And so
it's a rivalry game too.
It is a rivalry game. Yeah. And the Bruins are wearing their away whites tonight. So back in the 70s, their home jersey was the whites, and they're bringing that back tonight. So
I like it.
It's going to look like a game from the 70s when, O'Reilly's out there. And
are they going to wear helmets tonight?
Maybe not. Maybe not. So the Bruins are rolling. The other thing that happened, we already talked about the Celtics, but the other thing that went down this week was the Hall of Fame. And we talked about it on our Pulse Podcast Network, Overtime with Mike and the Haas. Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones were voted in.
Yeah.
And you had some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I had some thoughts. I mean, Carlos Beltran my concern was that I understand. I guess I'm not anti-Beltran, but I mean, he was involved with the cheating scandal in Houston. And I don't know. I guess it's hard for me. It doesn't roll off my tongue when I think of Carlos Beltran, Hall of Famer. I don't feel as bad about Andrew Jones. We had talked on OT, it should Dale Murphy, right, be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
If Andrew Jones is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And we had that conversation. But it's interesting because they're joining Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent was voted in earlier. And even saying Jeff Kent, that's also uncomfortable to say. Like, when I think of Jeff Kent, I don't think of Hall of Famer. And it brings me back. And I had this conversation this morning with a friend here in the building. And how are we going to address the steroid era players? I mean, it really kind of percolates now, because we know the conversation we had was, we know there are people in the Hall of Fame that were taking steroids that they just didn't get caught or didn't admit to it or whatever. And even though you're taking steroids, Mike, and you know this as a high level baseball player, just because you're taking steroids doesn't mean you can still hit a baseball. There's still talent there. There's still an ability that you have. Granted, when you hit the baseball, if you're taking steroids, it might go an extra 100 feet.
Well, it's a difference between a fly ball out and a home run.
Yeah, but you still have to have the ability to hit the baseball, which is something that's special.
What I'm worried about with the Hall of Fame is that some of the rules are making it so these guys are not eligible anymore. That
like Manny Ramirez, for example.
That they're going to have to change the rules just to bring their names up.
Yes.
And that concerns me. Yeah. Dale Murphy is one.
Yeah.
Dale Murphy is no longer eligible in any form
for the Hall
to get to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And you're starting to, I don't, Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones, and I've always used this as my litmus test with the Hall of Fame. If you say their name, I need to be able to instantly say yes or no,
right?
Based on that, not yes in 5 years, yes in 7 years, yes on the third ballot.
And
either you're a Hall of Famer or you're not a Hall of Famer.
And you hear those names, and my response is maybe. But if I have to say maybe, it's because I have to then do research. And if I have to do research, then they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Good point. If you have to look them up, then you're probably right.
Yeah.
They probably shouldn't be there. And is it diluted, or is it so selective that they're selecting based on the wrong things?
Right.
But I keep coming back to Dale Murphy. Andrew Jones being there ahead of Dale Murphy makes no sense to me. Yes, he had a few more home runs than him. Yes, he had 4 more Gold Gloves than him. He didn't have the MVPs. Yeah. Dale Murphy played on a significantly worse Braves team than Andrew Jones did. Andrew Jones played on a team that happened to have 6 Cy Young winners, basically. Right. And so, he's playing in the postseason. He's playing in front of he's on national audiences a lot more.
Yeah.
Dale Murphy was playing in the 80s. He wasn't playing in the steroid era. He was playing in the pitching era.
Yes.
And so, which makes his numbers even more impressive. Mm-hmm. And not that I'm a giant Dale Murphy fan.
Right.
No, but,
right.
But
when I think of Braves, Dale Murphy's name is up there.
I said if you're gonna do a Mount Rushmore of Braves players, you would put Dale Murphy on that Mount Rushmore before Andrew Jones.
Absolutely.
You would put Dale Murphy and probably 3 pitchers.
Yeah.
And so you put Hank Aaron there, then you would put 2 pitchers. So Dog's chop. He wants to go in on this.
Go ahead, Dog.
Beltran is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he would have been if the Astro stuff didn't happen. Let's say that it didn't. He would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. This is the sports writers or the baseball writers playing God, essentially. They did the same thing to Robbie Alomar. If Robbie Alomar did not spit in John Hirschbeck's face, he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. But they punished him to say, okay, you've done your comeuppance. You're okay. We got you in the Hall of Fame right now. That's all it was. Beltran was one of the better hitters of the 2000s. I know he was on a lot of teams towards the 2010s, like the Giants, and the Cardinals. But Beltran was a first ballot Hall of Famer. The baseball writers just punished him for the Astros sign stealing controversy. That's all that was. With Andrew Jones, Tim Kirkjian had said that other than Willie Mays in center field, which is one of the more difficult positions to play in, that Jones, other than Willie Mays, was the greatest center fielder he ever saw. 10 Gold Gloves is a big deal. I will give you that. The batting average, the no MVPs does hurt his case for sure. And I didn't think he was actually going to get on the ballot or win this year. I thought it would be Beltran and possibly either King Felix or Chase Utley, maybe Dustin Pedroia. But I didn't think that Jones. I thought Jones might get it next year or not get it ever. So,
yeah, I agree. Before we get to the Patriots talk, which we're going to do on this last segment, sponsored by Main Love Water, we didn't get a chance to talk Red Sox off season, but that's the topic of our poll question. So let's do the poll question, and then we can talk about that next week.
We'll do trivia again.
Dog, poll question?
Poll question from last week was national championship game in college football, or as you call it, pro college football. Who you got? The U, Miami, or Indiana? It was 100% Indiana, and they were right. Indiana won the national title on Monday. But this week's poll question up on X, we got spring training coming very soon. Pitchers and catchers. The truck is about to leave Fenway Park and get down to Fort Myers, Florida. Are you satisfied with the moves that the Boston Red Sox have made this offseason so far? Yes or no?
All right. And
trivia? And trivia for a chance to win a gift card to Lucas Roasting Company. Which NFL quarterback holds the record for completion percentage in a single game while throwing for at least 250 yards and 5 touchdowns? Here's a hint. It's one of the 4 quarterbacks who are still playing. If you know the answer, 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080.
All right. We'll be right back with All Patriots.
107.7 WTPL, the pulse of New Hampshire.
Lots filled like a snow globe. We've got cars galore. Snow is
So don't make us choke. At Hillsboro Ford and Jeep Ram, you see, we're not snow removal, we're your dealership spree. Claim your dream car before it wears a snow beret, pretty please. Avalanche of autos ready for you to check out. Our deals are blazing, that's what it's all about. We'd rather sell jalopies than wield the snowplow. Hurry over, make that purchase now. Head to the hills, Hillsboro Ford and Jeep Ram.
Life moves fast. Work, family, long drives, and New Hampshire winters can take a toll on your body. If aches, stiffness, headaches, or low energy are slowing you down, it might be time to get back on track. At Crossroads Chiropractic, we believe your body was designed to heal and function at its best. Our doctors don't chase symptoms. They look for the cause. Through gentle, precise chiropractic care, we restore movement, reduce stress on your nervous system, and support your body's natural ability to heal. Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, headaches, digestive problems, asthma, chronic earaches, infant colic, or simply want to move and feel better, Crossroads Chiropractic offers personalized care for the whole family. Take the next step towards better health. Visit Crossroads Chiropractic in Bedford, Pembroke, Meredith, or Epping, and discover how good life can be when you're well adjusted. This month, a complete exam with any necessary x-rays is just $59. Call 603-575-9080 or go to crossroadschiropractic.com.
Sear Lumber in Warner is your go-to hardware store for winter. Conveniently located just off Exit 7 on I-89. Swing on in and grab your New Hampshire winter needs. Grab a bag of ice melt or rock salt. Pick up a new shovel and roof rake for removing heavy snow and protecting your vehicles and home. Have a wood pellet stove? Sear Lumber has hardwood pellets available with free delivery for 3 or more tons. It's never too late in the season to replace drafty doors or windows. Sear has top-of-the-line Therma-Tru, Masonite, Trust Guard, and Anderson products that are sure to save you on your heating bills. For contractors and homeowners, Sear Lumber offers free estimating services. So if you have a project and need a professional estimate, Sear Lumber is here and ready to help you set that project. And don't forget, your Sear Lumber location in Warner is a fully stocked Ace Hardware store for all your home project needs. Just off Exit 7 on I-89, open 7 days a week, and online at searlumber.com. You're listening to the Granite State's own Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
All right. Dog, I'm going to cut that short because we have an answer for trivia, which we're going to get to in a second. But right now, this segment sponsored by Maine Love Water.
Yeah, quick reminder, everyone, the water you drink actually matters. Around here, we're saying no to plastic bottles and yes to Maine Love Water, sourced from Maine's pristine Sebago Lake. Crack open one of their recyclable aluminum cans. Check it out right here, guys. Take a sip and feel the Maine Love difference. We're officially hooked. Thank you to Maine Love Water.
Awesome. Thank you, Maine Love. All right, Jason from Alton has an answer for trivia. Jason, what do you got?
Hey, how about our very own Drake May? And if memory serves me correct, I think it happened during one of the Miami games.
Yeah, well, you are correct. It is Drake May. Yes, sir. And actually, it happened against the Jets, believe it or not. It happened against the Jets, and it happened this year. So he was 19 of 21. He had 256 yards, 5 touchdowns, of course, no interceptions, and beat the Jets. And it is Drake May. And you, sir, Jason, have won a gift card to Lucas Roasting Company. So stay on the line, and Dog will get all the information for you.
Congratulations, Jason. Before you go, who do you have tomorrow? How are the Patriots going to do?
I think the Patriots are they're gonna win by about 9 points, and I'd like to see the Rams, but I think it's gonna be Seattle.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, thanks for your
Thanks,
picks.
Jason.
Thanks for listening, Jason.
I think Jason might be onto something.
I think so too.
You know, it's quick Drake May moment. It's amazing. He set a few records this year. It wasn't just one. He set a few records this year. And did you ever think that the quarterback that followed Tom Brady, who played here, who is the greatest of all time, who played here for 20 years, that a quarterback would be following that and breaking his records?
Right. Not only breaking his record, the NFL record. Yeah.
The NFL record.
Yeah.
But he's breaking some of the Tom Brady's records.
Patriots records, NFL records. It's awesome. How lucky are we? This is a guy from UNC. You know, this is awesome. We're so blessed. I mean, maybe it's the Kraft family. They have the magic touch somehow.
We don't have a lot of time. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time left to talk the game. Let's go. The Patriots are playing in Denver tomorrow. It's supposed to be very cold.
Yeah.
No snow, very
20s,
cold.
Yeah, cold. I mean, who cares? Denver's a cold weather climate team, and so are the Patriots.
The line has moved from
5.5 to
5.5 to 3.5. So that means more money is going on Denver.
Yep.
I believe that's what that would mean, right? Yeah, more money is going on Denver, you know, as the week has gone on. So people are having a little bit more belief in Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
He has not thrown a ball in an NFL game since 2023, over 2 years. The defense, by all accounts, is very good, but not as good as Houston's.
Right.
And potentially not as good as Los Angeles, the Chargers.
Sure.
The Patriots are going in pretty healthy. I think Mac Hollins is a game time decision.
Yeah.
I hope he plays. I think he makes a difference.
He does, yeah. Patriots, I mean, record-wise, they're 0-4 in playoff games in Denver.
Yep.
But, you know, they haven't played in Denver in about 10 years.
Denver is completely healthy except for the quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to take that back. J.K. Dobbins, they thought he was going to play. He's not going to play, so they're still going with Harvey, who's been good.
Yeah. It's been good.
Yeah. I mean, all signs still point to the Patriots. If you went on ESPN, the whole group picked the Patriots. If you went on the NFL.com site, they all picked the Patriots. I don't know what you two are going to do.
That could be a problem, though, because last week, remember, they all picked the Texans.
I know that. I do know that.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say, Houston Texans defense, unbelievable. Guess what? They're not playing this week. They say Denver's defense, quite good. Great. They're playing the Patriots this week. How about the Patriots defense? When are we going to give love? I mean, we give love, but when is the rest of the country going to give some love to the defense of the New England Patriots? They are playing amazing football.
It won't be this week because if they play amazing football this week, it's going to be because, again, the Patriots got lucky back at
because
quarterback.
Bo Nix isn't playing.
Yeah,
that's going to be. There's always going to be some reason.
It won't be this week. All right, let's get to it. I do have to announce that I am taking the knee.
Congratulations.
I am in victory formation. So you guys cannot catch me.
No, we cannot.
Which I appreciate this because I lost last year.
No pressure.
I was last year. So I'm kind of like the Patriots from last to first. All right. So we have two games. So let's start with the Seahawks and the Rams. So
all right, Dog's going to pick first on this one.
The Rams are visiting the Seahawks. Rams are his Super Bowl pick. The Rams are healthy. The Seahawks, obviously the number one seed in the West, great defense. Dog, who do you got?
I don't like Super Bowl rematches. I'm going to do my absolute damnedest to make sure and pray to the football gods that doesn't happen. I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle.
Oh, my goodness. So he wants the Rams. Dog has said that he feels like they're super.
Vegas has it as a pick'em. They're a little bit more about a pick'em game. If you see, if you ask four guys, two guys are going to pick the Rams, two guys are going to pick the Seahawks.
And guess what? It's going to be a pick'em here because I am going all in on the Seattle Seahawks.
All right. So Charlie's got the Seahawks. And then, obviously a game that we are, very vested in. The Patriots visiting the Broncos, a 1 and 2 seed. Two very easy schedules because you could apply the same knowledge to the Broncos in terms of their easy schedule. So, all right.
What do you got? Okay, this is me, Dog, huh? I'm going first. Well, you know what? Last week I picked against the Patriots, and it was a terrible, terrible decision. I have a lot of faith in Drake May. I have a lot of faith in Josh McDaniels. I have a lot of faith in Mike Vrabel. I think the Patriots win easily in Denver.
All right, Dog.
The Patriots winning would mean we get a Super Bowl rematch again. That's not going to happen. We're going to get a brand new Super Bowl matchup. The Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Rams, Stidham's revenge.
Dog, if that happens, that's going to probably be the worst Super Bowl ever. The Broncos and the Rams. There will be nobody watching. Nobody watching.
No, I think that the Patriots Rams is what the NFL, it's what the broadcast companies want. Stafford, May, 2 MVP finalists. That's what they're going to want.
They do. Yeah.
I've got the Patriots and I've got the Seahawks.
Good.
So, all right, guys, enjoy watching the game.